going to go on ahead and run through the steps very quickly in this video. And then if you'd like to see me walk you through it, you can watch the other much longer video. It's up to you how you want to consume this information. All right, everybody. I am super excited to be starting a new project. I can't tell you guys how long I've been wanting to do this. I've been talking about it for probably about a year or two now. I saw Sassafras do some pillows, and I was like, that's amazing. And they were like, it's our quilt pattern, and this is not a new quilt pattern, but it's new to me. I've never done it before. I purchased this pattern a while ago, and what I'm going to do is turn their quilt pattern into some pillows. So the goal is going to be to do 4 pillows. So I'm going to choose 4 of these blocks, which I've already done. And I went to Staples and I made copies of the foundation pages. So this is going to be paper pieced. And I feel like I haven't truly paper pieced in a while. And this is going to be, you kind of say it's going to be a lot of paper piecing. I mean, the pillow, the front of the pillow will be paper pieced. So I chose a couple of the blocks, and the first block that I'm going to get started with is this guy down here, and it's block number 10. So this is where we're just start chopping it up. I'm very organized. I have each of the pieces in the order that I will need to use them laid out in front of me, and then I just go through how to paper piece. If you'd like to see this in more detail, again, watch the long form video. I'll be sure to put some snippet numbers down there so that you guys can jump around, see what you want to see. But yes, the front is paper pieced. I've decided to do 1 pillow, just straight piecing to make it go fast and really give it a more dynamic pillow look. I used a ruler by Creative Grids to just cut the wedges, and I made it the exact same size as the paper pieced versions. So here I'm showing you that I sewed it together, and when I pieced it together, I ripped out the 1/4 inch seams just to make it lay flatter so that when they come together in the center, it comes together nicely. Make sure that you have interfacing that goes all the way to the edges of all of your fabric. Any fabric that uses interfacing, make sure that you cut the interfacing so that it goes all the way to the edge. It's just a good practice. When you're using stripes, make sure that the stripes are going the direction that you want. And that's just me doing that here. Quilter Select rulers, always great. Always a great choice. Love them. So here is the back panel. Again, make sure that your interfacing goes all the way to the edge. I'm using zippers by the yard from By Annie here. I think this is my preferred zipper. I love these zippers. You can change out the color, the stripes. It's just, they're cool. They're funky, and I love putting different color pulls on them. I just love a zipper. So much fun. Going ahead and clip this down, put the zipper right side to the fabric. Make sure the larger piece of fabric is at the bottom, and going ahead and use a 1/4 inch seam and just sew the zipper onto your fabric. You will sew the other one on and then top stitch down either side to secure it. So now let's go back to our front, which is all done with interfacing on the back. These pillows are very well constructed. They feel very sturdy. This freezer paper came from Amazon. Go on ahead, iron it, make a template of your front piece so that you have a perfect template. You want to mark the top and mark the bottom so that you're getting identical pieces. Yes, it's supposed to be equal on all sides, but let's be real. Every now and then there's 1/8 of a difference here and there. So I used the freezer paper, made a template. Now this is the back panel. It's the 2 pieces of fabric with the zipper sewn down the middle. Going ahead and iron that on, making sure to stay away from the zipper and making sure that those points are underneath the zipper with the largest part at the bottom. Iron the freezer paper to the backing so that you can cut around it. I mean, yes, you can cut around it without ironing it on there, but that's the magic of freezer paper. So let's go ahead and take advantage of the magic. So it's ironed down, and now I'm cutting around the excess, and now I have an identical duplicate. Now you're going to take your piping, grab your front piece, and sew the piping around the entire shape. And the way that I like to end my piping in the directions, it tells you to just cross them over. I didn't love that. I was trying to do something that was a little less conspicuous. So just unravel it, cut them even, pretty much even, bam. And then butt them up next to one another. Fold over the top so you don't have any raw edges. Encase the fabric, and then so there's just a nice continuous line, and sew down and seal it up. I am marking a 1/4 inch because you're going to sew from 1/4 inch to the other. You're not going to sew this all the way down. You need a little bit of wiggle room in those corners. So I marked it, and now we're going to sew from one red line to the next, making sure to back stitch where you start and stop. You only need to mark 3 of them. There's 6 sides. Just flip them over as you need to. Now we're going to pin it or use your clips on all of the corners here, all the way around. And you're going to sew a 1/4 inch, making sure that you have the panel top on the top. You're going to make sure that the side pieces are on the bottom of the sewing machine. Once you've done that, go on ahead and take your back and put it right sides together. Make sure that you've opened it up so that you can turn it. And you're going to go on ahead and clip all these sides or pin all these sides the same way you did before and sew around it, making sure that the back panel is up. You want to have the side panels on the sewing machine so that you can see that 1/4 inch line and you can stay to the left of it or directly on it. We got that 1/4 inch line from sewing the piping down. So clipping it takes a little bit of time. Not too bad, just it's weird because that little part right there will open, but just pinch it closed and put that on there and don't even think about it. Just sew your 1/4 inch seam. Try to stay consistent if you can. These pillows are pretty forgiving. So now we've got the back sewn on also. Now it's going to be time to flip it inside out. I'm just feeling to make sure that I didn't catch any of the piping in a weird way. And ta-da, we have a cutie patootie pillowcase. Go on ahead and flip it out, push out all your corners, groom it, no strings, no strands because it's about to get fun. We need to put the batting inside. For the batting, I used new foam, which is like it's 1 inch thick. You get it from Joann's. It's very stiff, but it's a lot easier than using 12 pieces of batting. I'm taking my template that was marked specifically for this one and I'm cutting it down a 1/4 inch on each side so that I can cut the batting to fit inside. Also cutting this 2-inch foam. Best way to cut foam is with like your turkey cutter. Love it. It cut through like butter. I'm using a friction pin to mark it. This is the new foam that I was telling you about. It's a huge roll, but use your coupon and you can get it for a good price, and that makes these pillows affordable. So this is the new foam, that batting type material. That's great for outdoor stuff. It feels like plasticky kind of thing. I use my rotary cutter to cut that 1 inch thick. I use the 60 mm rotary cutter to do that. I'm stuffing it in there and I'm just feeling to make sure that it's sitting inside the piping because once we sew the button in with the foam right there, there won't be any more moving that foam. So just make sure that it's placed nicely. And I used pearl cotton and a doll needle to sew my buttons down. I used the Dritz button pack, which I prefer because it has the teeth on it. I quite like the Dritz one. You want to do the one that has teeth on the inside of the button so that you can really make sure that your fabric is smooth. And if you have an eraser, it's great to push against those teeth so you don't hurt your finger. I think I did 3 black buttons and then 2 like colorful buttons here. I cut out the template from the back of the box. Easy peasy. And then wrap your button. Again, if you want to see where I did what, I'm going to put timestamps on the other video. So now I'm using a doll needle, which is just a long, thick needle that can handle pearl cotton. And I go through a few times and I have a little trick about how I sew my button in so that it doesn't really move back and forth. Some pillows come together better in the center than others, so the button isn't necessarily necessary, but it's cute. Again, here's that turkey cutter, and it just goes through like butter. Very, very smooth. Take this foam and tuck it into your pillowcase. Use another layer of that new foam, and your pillow will be complete. You just zip it up. So 2 layers of that batting, that 1-inch thick batting, and 1 layer of 2-inch foam. And here are the five pillows all together. I think they came out really cute. Let me know what you think.